Hey guys! So welcome to our February craft box tutorial. So if you've never had a craft box before, don't worry, I'm going to walk you through how this goes. But what's so cool about our craft boxes is that you are going to get everything that you need to make this craft, minus a couple little things like a plate. You'll need some water, and you'll need something to adhere your bows to your individual pieces if you wish. But everything else comes with it. You're going to get brushes, you're going to get sandpaper, you're going to get paint, you're going to get everything that you need to make this craft. So minus a few little things here and there, you're going to be all good to go. So I'm going to run you through how I would make this, but feel free to be creative. You can mix and match colors, you can change things up, really make this your own thing. But I'm just going to show you the basics on how to get it done right. Not necessarily right, just quick. All right, so the first thing that I would do is open my bag that came with my paints, and I would grab the vanilla color. There's no right or wrong way to paint the base of this, but I honestly just wind up pouring out a good bit of paint on here and then really just working it in with my large brush that came with the kit. So I'm gonna get this painted solid real fast. Okay guys, so now I have a solid coat on the base of this with my vanilla paint, and I just went quickly over it with the large brush. Like I said, I just pour it on there and just smear it in. There's no right way to do this, it's just getting it done. So that is with the vanilla paint on the base of the board. So what you're going to do is let this dry and set it to the side. I'm just going to move mine in front and give myself, actually, I want y'all to be able to see this. I'm going to move it to the side. All right, so next you're going to crack into your shapes. All right, so you have a watermelon shape, you have a snowman shape, you have a pumpkin shape, you have a bunny shape, and you have a flag shape. Okay, so now that we have all of our pieces laid out, you can decide which one you want to do first. Since we already have the white out, and our brush is already dirty with the white, let's go ahead and pick the ones that I'm gonna put white paint on to do first before I have to wash my brush. So I am gonna work with the flag. I'm gonna do the base of the flag in white. So again, I'm just gonna take some of that and just kind of brush that right on there. On the flag. Now if you want to do any sanding in between, you're welcome to sand any edges that you feel necessary. This is the sandpaper that comes with it, and what you'll do is you'll just lightly sand any little edges that you wish to and make them the way that you want them. I am happy with the edges that I have here, so I'm just going to paint over this guy. Okay. So that is one good coat over top of my flag. And then I'm going to take my snowman and I'm going to do a coat on his head as well. Alright, so I'm just going to draw a line where that hat would go, as you can see right there. Just draw a line where the hat's going to go. And then I'm going to fill in his head. So now we have the white done, and you're going to wash your brush. So I just have some water over here, and I'm just going to rinse my brush out. This is the lightest color, so you don't have to be super thorough. And then just take a napkin and just wipe that off. All right. Next, I'm going to work with the yellow. And so I'm going back to my bag and pulling my yellow out. Just give it a little shake. And again, I'm not the cleanest painter. I take my lids off and I just tap it right onto the surface. But you're welcome to use your plate, of course, if you want to be a little bit tidier with your painting. So again, I'm just gonna really coat the base of him. Really working it in. And again, before you paint this, if you want to do any sanding, you can sand it. Okay, then we have one yellow coat on there. We're going to now let's do our pumpkin. So for our orange, we're gonna mix our red and our yellow. So here's the red. I'm just going to do a little bit of red on my plate. Just a little dab of red. And then some yellow. And I'm going to work that together to make my orange, okay? So you're just gonna fold that into each other until you're happy. You can see how I'm just kind of working it in until I achieve the desired color. Okay, so you can see I have a nice orange color going on there. And it's okay to leave some of it unmixed, that's fine. It'll give you some dimension to your pumpkin. So now that I have this nice color, I'm gonna coat the base of my pumpkin. Alright, so now I have my orange. Okay, now you're going to need to wash your brush out. Okay. Use that paper towel to dry. I like to work with my lighter colors first and then work into my darker colors. So now I'm working my way up to red. All right, so I have some red on my plate still that I can pull from. Just paint that red right on there. Okay. Just gonna add a little bit more. Paint it. Make sure that you shake the paint before you start pouring. Handy dandy bag of tricks again, and grab out this little detail brush right here. And I'm gonna do some work on this flag because I wanna keep using this red paint that I already have dumped out. So I am going to make a line. I'm gonna actually use a pencil to kind of trace out where I want for my blue to be. I think that's probably good. I don't want to bear down too much because I don't want it to show through my paint. We're going to draw out kind of a caricature shape. Remember, this doesn't have to be perfect the first time because we're going to do some detailed lines and I'm going to teach you some tricks so that this doesn't have to look perfect and you can fake it till you make it with this. It's really going to give it a lot more personality with just a little bit of detail work. And it's going to be super simple. So don't be scared if your freehand skills aren't super hot. That's all right. A little red strip for his scarf, and you just want to get this big brush and line it out just like that. So there we go, a scarf. Have his little scarf ready. Check out that flag waving. I Alright, so we are getting almost where we want to be with this, so I'm going to set it over to the side to dry so that I can do some detailed lines on it. I'm going to wash my brush out again, and then I'm going to start working on another color, but I'm not ready to go to black yet, so my next darkest color is going to be my green, okay? So I'm going to take my green, shake it up again. Y'all know the drill. You don't want some yuck. Shake that right up. And then I'm going to cut in on my watermelon, the base of my watermelon. All right, so. And I'm gonna work with green again because I've already got my brush in green, and I'm gonna do his little stem in green. So I'm gonna fill this in, and there is a little bit of a detail to this that I'm gonna tell y'all about. So don't worry, it's not that scary. You're just gonna fill him in quickly and draw down these little petals. So it's just gonna be like you used to draw flowers when you were in elementary school, middle school, when you used to doodle, and then they're just going to be kind of little leaf shapes. And you're going to do 3 of them. You're just going to do 3 little leaves. They can overlap, and again, they don't have to be perfect. This is kind of like a folky arts and crafts style caricature. It doesn't have to be perfect. So, and then you're going to fill that in. Super simple, just like that. And that's how you make the stem not look so cut off by just doing one green little stem. Now you have some little leaves on here too to give it some character. So here's my green stem with leaves. See? Alright, next I'm going to wash my brush and I'm going to go for my darkest. Actually, pause on that. I am going to go with my snowman. I forgot his little green detail over here. I'm going to pull him back down. I'm going to do his little scarf detail. So all you do is just draw some straight lines down to have a striped scarf for your little snowman. So it's just that simple. Got the stripes. Okay, so now you have your 2 stripes on here. Next, you're going to wash your brush. Just in the water. And wipe it off so that you can use another color. And I'm going to go ahead and fill in my blue. And I'm going to use my handy dandy plate. Ooh, first up, remember to shake it. You have to shake that paint, or else you'll have a layer of yuck come out first. Okay, so now it's all shook up. You're just gonna pour a little bit out. And guys, this, you're gonna have a ton of blue left over unless you use it for something else. So you can technically save that for another project or whatever you'd like to do, because you're gonna have a whole bottle pretty much left over, because this is the only part that you're doing with the blue. So now you're just gonna cut in that little square that you did earlier. I guess it's more of a rectangle. Just gonna cut it right in with that blue. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, y'all. This is a caricature. Okay, now I'm going in with my darkest color yet, my black. I'm gonna shake them up, shake them up. And I am going to use the lid actually. So there's some residual in the lid, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to work first with the hat of the snowman. I'm going to paint him in black super fast. Okay, so there's our black on our snowman. Then I am going to start with my black details on my other pieces, as long as they are dry. Alright, so I'm going to do some of my pumpkins details. Actually, I'll do the eyes of my snowman first. I'm going to do the eyes of my snowman first. So I'm going to dip back in my black. And I'm gonna do large oval eyes because I feel like my coal would be large lumps of coal for his eyes. And again, this is a character. You're making it however you want. There is no right or wrong way. I'm gonna show you how to do some details. It's gonna make this look fabulous. Coco. Hi, honey. I'm gonna do his little mouth. I'm actually gonna bring it up a little higher. Looks a little creepy right now. Like I said, guys, you're just gonna wanna kinda do some stylized lines around here. There's no right or wrong way to do it. You just wanna get them on here. And then you'll go in with your white. Just kinda add some little flicks of your wrists and little details in white. Just like a little daisy used to draw in school. Just a fluffy little cloud. Just like that. Decide to dry. There we go. And I'm going to work now on some other details on some of my other pieces. I think I'm gonna go with my flag, and I'm gonna do the white details on there since I just washed my brush and I have white ready to go. Some lines, just like that. Some different little stylized lines. Uh-oh. And my red wasn't all the way dry, so I got a little bit on there, but here's this little trick for that. Your sandpaper. Where did I put my sandpaper? I ate mine. Oh, there it is. Sandpaper. You just want to scratch off whatever mistake you made first, and it almost erases it completely, actually. There you go. And then you can do some light painting over top, but that actually took enough off for me. I'm good. And then I'm gonna actually go back into my my flag as well with some white stripe, just to kind of give it a little bit of movement. There we go. And then I'm gonna do my little stars on here, and this is really a stylized thing as well. I'm just gonna do the little stars like this, the most remedial star you can do. Okay, now that I've got my flag, all my white details done on there, I'm gonna put him to the side, and I'm gonna go back with my little wedge of a watermelon. So something different that I did on my watermelon was I made it kind of look like it was three-dimensional, and the way that I achieved that was by taking my white and making a line just straight down the side of him. Just straight down like that. Okay. Alright, then I'm going to do some other details just around the edges, just to kind of add a little bit of style and a little texture around those edges, and some more around here. And again, if you get a little okay. Perfect, good deal. All right, now I'm gonna set him to the side. Okay, now I'm going to start on my pumpkin and do my white lines with him. So the stem, of course, some stylized lines up here. Make some little pumpkin smile lines. I know that sounds crazy, but it really adds some dimension to the pumpkin. So what I like to do is start from the tip of your last leaf and just kind of draw a little smile line down and then another right in the center. And that's going to give your pumpkin some extra movement. I'm not ready to do my black just yet on there. I'm going to do some more white details on some other items, but that is how you get some of that character on your pumpkin. Next, let's do some outlines on my snowman's hat with the white. Again, just on the corners. Okay, and then again, I had a little mistake because I had some on my finger. So you already know what to do. Just get that sandpaper and just scratch it right off. And it'll fix any mistakes super fast. Okay, so we got that, and now we're gonna do his little dots on his eyes. I like to do them up top. It gives him a little bit more personality when he has the little whites in his eyes. Now we're going to set him to the side. So I'm going to actually wash my brush just a little bit, and then I'm going to go back with my black, okay? I'm going to let's start with our little wedge of watermelon. I'm going to dip it in my black, and I like to kind of like smudge it off on a flat surface, which I have the inside cap right now. And then I'm just going to do lines straight down like it was a pencil. Just like that. Where I went with my white lines. Go on the rind too. And I actually forgot to go over the rind with my white paint, so I'll go back in just a little bit and do some details on the rind with my white paint. But I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to actually do some of the seeds on my watermelon. So I just do teardrop shapes. Just some little teardrop shapes. And honestly, none of them are the same. I say it's a teardrop shape, but mostly it's just a little blob, if you will. No two are ever going to be the same, and that's okay. Alright, so now I've got my watermelon lined in black. I'm going to set him to the side, and I'm going to start on my pumpkin, lining him in some black details. I'm just going to pull from my lid and just kind of work some black in there. And I don't mind mixing a little white in there either. If it needs to be softened at all, you can make it a little bit more gray. Just however you want it to go. Okay. gonna set him to the side. Same with my little snowman. I'm gonna do him some black details around his face. And now with my flag. Alright, I'm going to start up here. Let's put a couple little black lines in here. And then, can you turn? Yeah, I got it. We've got some texture going on that flag. Alright, I'm going to put him to the side, and that's pretty much the black details that I want to work on. I'm going to wash my brush. Again, this is all open to interpretation, however you want these to look. Oh, I found one thing I didn't do a black detail on. Little bunny's tail. Let me get his little tail. Okay, there's our little bunny's tail. Okay. I'm going to go back with some white details on my watermelon. Some little white dots on the seeds. There we go. And then I'm going to add some white into the rind and the little details around that I might have overlooked. Okay.
How'd you make it, the color?
Just some right here. Here you go. Now I'm going to work on his nose. I'm going to come back with my orange paint. Oh wait, I had to make that. So here we go. I'm going to put some yellow. That's an extra amount of yellow. And then I'm just going to kind of work this in to make the desired shade. Okay, so now I'm going to draw the nose shape. And I'm going to do rounded like a little carrot but getting smaller. The base of his eyes with a little bit of. And then, how could I forget? Everybody needs them brows. There he is. Okay, so now I have this all pressed down. I went around the edges and just kind of shored up all the edges. I have a trick for you though. If you'll go back with your original base coat, which is this vanilla, if you'll go back around the edges with that vanilla, it'll seal in and help you not to bleed. Now you don't need a thick coat. This needs to be very thin, but really push it in around the edges so that if it was to bleed, it's gonna bleed that vanilla color so you won't see it. So this is a nifty little trick to get an almost flawless board. Mistakes still happen, but this is a surefire way to help it. Okay, so you can see I have put a thin coat over it. You can see how thin it is, though. You can still see the blue through it. So I didn't go too crazy with it. I just did a nice thin coat. So now we're going back with our black, back in black. I am not going to wash my brush this time because I'm okay with kind of a charcoal look. And I actually like to save a plate and just put some of my black paint on my stencil in the center. As long as you don't make a big mess, then definitely do that. And then I'm just going to work in my black paint on top of my stencil. Now I'm just going to use my stapler. You can get these at any hardware store. You might have one at your house. And I'm going to attach it. You could also do this with a hot glue gun. So I just put one staple per bow, and then you can choose where you want it to go. So for the pumpkin, I'll probably do it up top. Cute. So there he is. The bunny, I'm going to give him a bow tie, I think. Yeah. So there he is. The snowman, I'm going to actually put it on the top of his hat. So there that one is. And then for the flag, I'm going to put it under the stars, just kind of catty cornered right there. Okay, now I'm going to get my board, and you can see I actually went over and just distressed it. If you go over with your sandpaper and just rub back and forth, it'll distress it out for you however you want it to look. And I'm going to lay this baby down on the table. And that fuzzy piece of that fuzzy piece of Velcro that you had in your pack, it's one of the 6 pieces of Velcro that you had. I'm just going to go right here in the center and lay it right down and apply that. And then I'm going to go on the back of my little guys and stick the other side of it, so that they can attach and peel right off. Alright guys, so I'm going to put my little bunny in place because Easter is my next holiday that I want to show. And you're ready to stick all of these when the season comes. I hope y'all enjoyed this craft, and I hope that you were able to create your own masterpiece at home. Like I said, there is no perfect way to do it, so do your own thing, be yourself, and it's going to look great. Bye guys.